it looks like we're live. Jack and Jordan back together today talking about your reason why. And Jordan's got a very unique point of view, a unique way that he services his customers. One of the reasons why I decided to team up with him. Awful lot of marketing companies out there, very few of them actually seem to offer something that's truly unique. So Jordan, let's talk about, Simon Sinek is famous for talking about starting with why, which is part of what we want to talk about here. So I want to hear your view on how to start with why. But even before that, I want you to talk about why to start with why.
That's a loaded question there, but let's see. Well, I mean, if you think about anything that you do for the most part in your life, that you invest your personal time in, you want to have a purpose behind it because that's what makes it valuable to you or worthwhile to you. So you have to think that way with your customers. If you're not really having a purpose to serve them, then at the end of the day, it's not probably going to work out in your favor. So what I really like to focus on, and we'll use small business as an example, mostly in the service industry is where I like to, pitch my tent, I guess, is you need to really uncover, the purpose behind what your launch. Why are you getting invested in the business that you're getting invested in? Why does that make sense to you? Why does that make sense to the market? And I think oftentimes I see somebody maybe come into some money or, I don't know, maybe a lawsuit or something, looking for something to invest in, especially in Phoenix. You know how it is, Jack. There's, people looking to make money in every avenue and a lot of entrepreneurs surfacing across, the country really. And I really like to be that guy that hits you with reality. And if you don't have that experience, you don't have that purpose for investing in something other than maybe money, or there's an opportunity in the market for you, maybe in your region, then I really try to detour you from, jumping without a parachute, I guess, across.
So that for me, because I've done this kind of work, I understand it. But let's dig deeper under the surface anyway. Why does that matter?
I think it matters because success is all about passion. Success is about the journey that's brought you to where you are. And if
there's a lot of people who say that isn't true.
Elaborate. Who says that?
There's disagreement in the world about whether or not you should follow your passion, whether or not having passion in your work really makes a difference. And I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here. I'll admit that I am.
I know. I think, I know what you're getting to here. And I think when it comes
why does it matter that you know why you're doing?
Well, when it comes to exactly what we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks, Jack, is if you're looking to drive loyalty and you're looking to retain your customers with that unique value, that authenticity I always bring up, and be able to establish a culture about something that you're passionate behind, it's so much easier to do it that way. If you're, trying to maybe have a company that's just you plug in an air hose and it inflates itself. That again, that stuff, it works. You're able to make money, and it's an avenue of revenue. But it's not something that's going to be over the top successful and success is hard to define, but I define it with loyalty and customer appreciation. If you're able to hang on to those customers instead of passing around along within the industry, then that's how you scale and grow. And really that's that rewarding feeling as a business owner that you get when you're able to provide that uniqueness. I'm not sure if that really answers the question, but
let's see. So why do you define success that way?
Wow. Defining success, I think, is an important part of being able to establish a vision. I think you want to do that on the front end first and foremost. But so often we might go off on a whole nother topic here.
Yeah, we just might. Why do you define success?
I think
reward. The way you just defined it.
Yeah, reward. It's that feel good, that feeling, that sense of accomplishment. Success can't really be measured with money or the number of employees you have, or um, how much you're able to scam somebody maybe into purchasing your product or persuade them. I think it creates a sense that you're going to want more, that you're not doing enough because you're not actually following that process of getting people to believe in you or believe in your product or brand, have faith and trust what you're saying and giving them. And that's true success, in my opinion, is having that reward and fulfillment in what you're servicing people with.
Why is the reward and fulfillment how you measure it, how you, Jordan Trask, measure it?
Because that's my approach. That's the way that's what I enjoy. I think, when you start a company, that's something that you want to be able to encompass and give to other people. I've had a lot of success in my life, or I've made a lot of money, worked a lot of hours to get there, but it wasn't something I really believed in. And I realized rather quickly at a young age that that's not how I wanted to find success. I want to be able to um, be honest, verbal, and respected for what I have to say, and know that I'm going to be able to walk away and people appreciate that and receive that well.
Why do you want to be respected, and so that when you walk away, people will appreciate it?
That's how I'm remembered. That's my brand. That's my identity.
Why does that matter to you?
Um, because that's how I define success.
We're getting
Man.
into a circular argument here.
Yeah, that's important to me. I think that's a calling. That's something that it just comes to you. I think it's a viewpoint of the world that um, just happens at the right time. I think everybody experiences it. It's up to you whether you chase it or seek to grab it. Um, I'm not really sure. It's a good question. Maybe I should.
So we've come to a place in the questioning where you don't have an answer. All
Yes,
right, so let's talk about what I just did here.
let's do it.
There were 5 whys that I think it was 5. And as a rule, the 5 whys is a really good strategy to dig down to the point where you get to where I got to with you. I don't know. I'm not sure. And in fact, until you get to the point where you've reached the I don't know, I'm not sure, you probably haven't dug far enough. It's that point where we find that we haven't really found that solid ground that we can stand on, that we know, that we know, that we know. Very few people do the work on themselves to know that they know that they know why. And in fact, it becomes very uncomfortable. One of the things I like about you, Jordan, is I can tell that you're not freaking out by getting these questions asked. And I kind of suspected it would be that way because I know that you, in fact, ask those questions. The kind of people who ask those questions also tend to be the kind of people who are comfortable with having them asked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love digging for whys. So now, my friend, I've dug down deep enough for you to have found I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that because starting a business, building a business, trying to create something that is self-sustaining and satisfying is so challenging,
Mm-hmm.
it will in fact get every single one of us who are attempting to do it to that point. Why am I putting myself through this?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I putting my family through this? Why am I putting my friends through this? But ultimately, why am I subjecting myself to this torture? And that becomes the point where you want to give up or you want to stop.
Yeah.
The deeper you dig for your why, the more power you're going to have to keep going when things get tough. Furthermore, the presence of that knowledge, if you know your why, however deep you've gone with your why, the deeper your knowledge of your why may happen to be, the more internal power you're going to project into your world. This is similar to, although not identical to, the reason that some salespeople are tremendously successful at selling whatever they sell, and some are not good at all. When you have confidence in what you're talking about, it comes across. Mm-hmm. And we are constructed as human beings in such a way, both neurologically and psychologically, that we are attracted to that kind of confidence. And so one of the very best ways as a business owner that we can have a positive influence for good on our market is to have absolute confidence in what we're doing. And the best way to get to that, aside from sheer competence, is to dig and dig and dig until you find that why, the solid ground under your feet. Why am I doing this? Why? I love to ask 5 whys. I commend you. Very few people are able to maintain their composure through 5 whys. At some point, generally after 2 or 3, they get very uncomfortable. But the power is in the 5th one.
Our first conversation, where were we at? Giant Coffee?
Yeah.
To give him a plug really fast. Is we talked about this, so I knew where you were getting with it, and that's why I love talking to you, Jack, is because so many entrepreneurs or new business owners, they're not really interested or comfortable, like you said, being pushed like that. And I think if you really want to be able to overcome and be truly unique and be remembered, or uncover and promote your why to the full power, I guess, you have to be pushed that way, and you have to be able to think, hey, how can I present this better? How can I be more clear? How can I answer this in a different way so that it resonates with somebody else? That's really what we've been talking about in order to drive that loyalty, because not everybody understands that why. And, there's even with me where, I've experienced marketing agencies and kind of that funnel that most clients are put into, and I've seen how it doesn't work. And there's so many whys behind what I'm doing that sometimes I'm not harnessing them all. And without dialogue like this, I'm not able to realize that and improve and grow as a professional, as a business owner, as a person.
Preach it, my brother. Preach it.